Well, KV News Time 8:49.
A few weeks ago, we heard from the Aviation Authority here in Jacksonville. They said they expected an average of about 7,000 or so passengers daily by Thanksgiving, which is below where we were last year, of course, but well above where we were over the Easter holiday. Only about half the restaurants and shops are open at the airport here. Weather and traffic every 6 minutes. Here's CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Curran.
A 9 on the WOKV weather meter. The skies become partly sunny today with a warming trend. Upper 70s, a little bit cooler at the beaches. Partly cloudy and mild tonight, only dropping to near 60 with some areas of late night and early morning fog. And near Thanksgiving Day will be partly sunny and warm, even a little bit humid. With an isolated brief shower, best chance closer to the Florida-Georgia border. With temperatures reaching the low 80s and close to the record high of 84. Friday, partly sunny and warm with an isolated shower. Near record high of about 82. 83 is the record for Friday. And the weekend will be partly sunny, warm and humid with a widely scattered shower. The high 81 on Saturday. Sunday near 80 with a better chance for showers and storms by late during the day and into the evening. I'm meteorologist Mike Burish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Pretty looking start to the morning. Easy for me to say when you push the microphone button, isn't it? 67 degrees now in Arlington, up to 70 degrees downtown, 69 at Jacksonville's severe weather station.
Now, Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic.
Sending through Arlington to the East Beltway southbound. Take a look at the traffic maps now. Do you still have a delay free drive ahead of you? Just give yourself 10 minutes to get from Heckscher over the Danes Point Bridge and down to JTB. And feature drivers on both JTB East and westbound. You're moving freely. It's 11 minutes between A1A and I-95. With Jacksonville's most frequent traffic, I'm Brian Riley.
Jacksonville's only all-news morning show continues, and an updated look at some of the guidance that CDC is giving if you are welcoming loved ones to your home tomorrow. WOKD News Time 8:51.
All information, no spam. Just the 3 big things you need to know. Get it on air, online, every weekday morning, delivered straight to your inbox. Sign up now at WOKV.com. Powered by Safe Touch Security.
Hi, my name is Connor. I live at the Rhoda Boys Ranch with about 50 other boys. We come to the ranch because we can't live at home or we just don't have one.
Rhoda Heaver Boys Ranch doesn't receive any government support for childcare and raises funds by auctioning off donated vehicles every month. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, truck, or tractor in any condition, Google Boys Ranch Palatka to donate. If you don't have a vehicle, cash donations are accepted. Google Boys Ranch Palatka.
Remember, it's better to build boys than to mend men.
Are you having difficulty paying your IRS personal or business taxes due to COVID-19? Under the IRS's People First COVID-19 Tax Relief Program, there has never been a better time than now to settle your tax debt. Call J. David Tax Law today for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
It's Rich Jones. My wife's a small business owner, so I see the challenges every day. And for small business owners, things have been tough this year. Well, we want to help. Enter the Bounce Forward Together sweepstakes presented by Comcast Business. And you can win $5,000 plus a 4-week professionally produced ad schedule on this radio station. Just head to bounceforwardtogether.com. Answer a few questions and you'll be entered to win. That's bounceforwardtogether.com. Enter to win $5,000 for your small business. No purchase necessary. See official rules for the table.
I can give you a brand new kitchen in days, not weeks, not months. Hi, I'm Jeff Martin from Martin Appliance and Greystone Kitchens with my secret formula for your new kitchen. Quick and easy and economical. 90% of new cabinets today are painted. Modern colors, crisp and clean. 90% of new countertops are granite, quartz, impeccably stylish, incredibly functional. Our secret? We swap your counters and refinish your cabinets to the color of your choice at a fraction of the cost. None of the hassle and done in days. Call Greystone Kitchens at 213-1900 for your secret solution. Come see us on Phillips Highway across from Regal Cinema. That's Greystone Kitchens and Martin Appliance. New kitchen, new appliances. And if you want new cabinets, I can do that too. I'm a licensed contractor for crying out loud. Florida State License CGC 1526479.
What you see is what you get. Martin Appliance Family.
Hi, I'm Hank Madden with Madden Advisory Services and your host of Smart Money. Your current financial situation is on the